One of the most compelling stories from American literary history, particularly with the story of publication, is the life of John Kennedy Toole. John Kennedy Toole wrote his novel A Confederacy of Dunces in the late 60s, or in the early 60s. And he attempted to get it published into the late 60s, but he was unsuccessful. And he eventually, in 1969, after a 2-month trip across America, he decided to take his own life just off the Gulf Coast outside Biloxi, Mississippi. He attached a garden hose from his exhaust pipe and ran it to his cabin of his car and started the ignition. And this was in 1969, and a few years later his mother found the manuscript and decided that she would get her dead son's novel published with success with the help of Walker Percy. She went through many rejections, but she indeed got it published, and it won the Pulitzer Prize. It was the first posthumous Pulitzer Prize. And the novel is considered the quintessential New Orleans novel. And we could take into consideration that New Orleans has had many writers, Tennessee Williams, Kate Chopin, William Faulkner. All of them were transplants, but John Kennedy Toole was a native son. He knew his city, and somehow he captured the spirit of that city. Unfortunately, there has not yet been a proper biography published of John Kennedy Toole. There have been a few biographical attempts that have, in most regards, failed. And so I took it upon myself to write a proper critical biography with an attempt to get to know Toole, the person, and to understand the world as he saw it. The title of the book is Butterfly and the Typewriter, The Brilliant and Tragic Life of John Kennedy Toole. And it's currently under review with some publishers. In connection with writing the book, there's also a fabulous new film titled John Kennedy Toole, The Omega Point. It's by filmmaker Joe Sanford, who's a dear friend of mine, and I helped make it. Helped in the making of the film, and it will be screening with the Rappahannock Independent Film Festival. There are 2 screenings this weekend, Saturday, May 8th, one screening at 7, one at 10, and a panel discussion in between. Joining us in the evening, I will be there, as well as director Joe Sanford. He's coming up from New Orleans, as well as Joel Fletcher, who has helped me in the writing of my book. He has published a memoir, and he's a friend of John Kennedy Toole, a dear friend, and he's a Fredericksburg resident as well. So we're very excited about the screening. It will be a wonderful night, and hopefully one that will lend some truth and insight into the life